Okay, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Richard Gorman. I'm the founder of Leadership-Tools.com. Thank you all for joining what I think is going to be a real special teleconference for you today. Let me just say right off the bat that I believe strongly that you'll leave the call today knowing precisely how you can pursue your passion and at the same time, benefit from having created a profitable online business using the exact same tools and resources that I use for having built my site at Leadership-Tools.com. Each of you, no doubt, learned about this particular call after visiting my website, or you may be an existing subscriber to my monthly newsletter. Some of you may have even come across the teleconference information after seeing a recent press release that we put out. But regardless of how you came to be here today, I just want to encourage each of you to listen intently, as I can assure you that what you're about to learn today, I believe, is truly a surefire way to create a real, honest-to-goodness, profitable online business. Something that you can be truly proud of. And today, we'll be sharing with you some real-life examples of how people just like you, just like me, are using a tool called Site Build It, or SBI, for creating high-quality and profitable online businesses. Now, before we jump into the formal presentation today, let me first make clear just exactly what this teleconference is not. Today, you are not going to be pressed to buy something. I mean, we're not here today to hard sell you anything. And as I've said on my website and in all the information leading up to this call, the reason I put this teleconference together, is simply as a means for me to share with others what I myself, feel so fortunate to have discovered just a few short years ago. SBI has truly changed my life for the better, and I'm just here to share that with you folks today. Also, you're not going to be told about some sort of get-rich-quick scheme. We won't be making any sort of crazy promises about how you can become wealthy overnight, just by investing your hard-earned dollars. I mean, that will not happen here today. You have my word on that. Folks, the one thing I will say, however, is that everybody here does need to realize and understand clearly that any real business does take time. And yes, it takes effort, and it does take a real commitment on your part. But the one thing I can say is if you do have a desire to succeed, then I'm certain today you will learn how you can leverage that desire and then go on to create a real online business for yourself. I mean, you can do this regardless of your current level of experience with computers or the internet. I mean, I can't believe how much I didn't know when I got started, and looking back on it, it's just amazing what I've learned through using Site Build It and being a part of the Site Sell community. It's just been wonderful. So again, I'm promising you two things today. I'm not here to sell you on what I do. I'm just simply here to share with you how I do what I do, and if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, then we'll certainly point you in the right direction so you can begin to move forward on your own. And secondly, you won't be lied to. Again, everything we'll be sharing with you today we can back up. I think you'll see exactly what I mean by the end of the call today. So, okay, hopefully, you feel that's fair enough and that I've put your mind at ease so you can just enjoy listening and learning today. And by the way, many of you have already forwarded questions to me via email before this call. So we're going to make an honest effort to answer each and every one of those questions throughout the call. However, if you have an additional question, after the presentation, you can contact me directly using my contact form at the free teleconference link that is located on the left-hand side of the homepage at Leadership-Tools.com. Okay, next, just a few things I might share with you about myself. For the past 21 years, I've held various leadership positions working in the financial industry. And, it's been a career that I've loved. I continue to enjoy a great deal. And at the same time, I've always been interested in looking for ways to create additional sources of revenue to support my family. My wife, we're fortunate enough to where she can be a stay-at-home mom. And we've also been, blessed with 3 beautiful little girls that keep us both very busy. And I'm sure just like many of you, and like most parents, my wife and I are committed to providing our kids with a memorable childhood and also equip them properly to go out into the world armed with a quality education. And, as you know, all those things take resources. So you could say the 3 little girls are truly my 3 greatest motivating factors, if you will, that inspires me to look for ways to create additional sources of revenue for our household. About 4 years ago, I guess, it's not quite 4 years, but we're approaching that timeline, I came across SiteSell, and I began reading about the success stories and case studies of people who were establishing websites using Site Build It, using SBI. And I got to tell you, I was struck by how so many of these people started out not having any real sort of website knowledge or background. yet they seem to be experiencing pretty impressive results. So, one day I actually went out and sent a few emails, sent them out directly to some of these folks, and I just asked them the question, hey, tell me about this. Is this for real? I was so blown away and inspired. They were very generous in getting back to me, and they were willing to share with me their experience. And, in just talking to a few of them, I could literally feel their excitement. And as I was reading their email replies, it was just very motivating for me. And for me, at that time, that was proof enough, and I decided I was going to give, SBI a try. Now, today, I can honestly say how really proud I am of what I've been able to accomplish with the help of SBI in a pretty short period of time. Leadership-Tools.com is now, I can honestly say, it's a very successful site. Right now, as we speak, it's helping real people all across the world who are interested in learning more about leadership. It's providing real solutions to their everyday leadership issues. And, I got to say, that along with all the positive feedback that I receive from my readers, it makes it a very fulfilling, endeavor for me. So, okay, well, let's move forward here, because I know you guys are interested in just exactly how we do this. And I'm happy to say that the details I'm going to leave to a good friend of mine and our special guest today, Judd Burden. Judd is the owner of several successful websites, and he's quite frankly the guy who I look up to as his story is really, truly inspiring. He's going to share that with you today. And some of you may have already read about Judd in his case studies that can also be accessed on the free, Tele-Seminar page as well. So, all right, let's dive into the details. Judd, are you there?
I'm right here, Richard. Thank you.
Well, welcome once again, Judd, and thanks so much for being willing to share with my readers your experience and advice on how to create a results-focused online business. At this point, I'm just going to turn the call over to you and ask that you take us through this thing that we both refer to as SBI.
Thanks so much, Richard. I appreciate it. And, the comments that I get from a lot of people that I speak to, including yourself, are just outstanding, and it really helps me understand how what I have achieved is truly a dream that I've always wanted since I was a child, and now I'm living it today. So when you had the slide up that was just before the slide that you put up with your 3 daughters and your wife and yourself, the nice thing that I saw there was that slide really gives just such a wonderful feeling of warmth and the smiles, happiness, and the ability to understand that what you guys are living is something that you truly enjoy. And I can tell you that from my side of things too, on the AsphaltKingdom.com slide right there, I can tell you that the smiles are there as well. Although my son and my wife are not up on this slide, we are certainly smiling as well. I run 3 successful online businesses. One is AsphaltKingdom.com, which you're presently looking at, and the TeaTreeWonders.com. And also I partnered with Alan Loft on AudioloftReport.com. AsphaltKingdom.com is my most profitable business. Now, the thing that continues to amaze me every day as leads, business, and money comes in from this website is that 2.5 years ago, I had no clue how to build a website, no idea, nor did I want to have to focus on all the technical, time-consuming elements of the Internet. I really needed a solution that was going to provide me with the opportunity to focus in on the things that I enjoyed doing in life, the knowledge that I had, and be able to apply that in a simple fashion to the Internet and reach people out there on the market that were searching through the search engines to find things that I had to offer, whether it was knowledge or products or equipment or courses. So I have turned basically my knowledge, my information, my hobby, something I am passionate about, into something that is now going to reward me this year with over $150,000 in profit. I usually don't like to talk about numbers, but I just wanted to tell you about how I've achieved my dream and how I have essentially built something that has enabled me to live from 3 different locations in the world and work solely via the Internet. All I do is type email responses and answer phone calls. That's all I do. And I can tell you that when I used to seal coat driveways for full-time income, actually it was more of a part-time because we had a seasonal business up north, that took a lot more effort, a lot more initiative, early hours, long hours, and getting employees and staff ready. There was just a lot of work. So now I'm a one-man show. I work for myself, and the money I earn is in my pocket. My main residence now is in the Caribbean in Anguilla, and we work from there, my wife and I both, from a desk that overlooks the Caribbean Sea on the west end of Anguilla in the Caribbean. So with that being said, I certainly can tell you that I've achieved my dream with just some effort and, as I say, BAM, B-A-M, brain and motivation. So let's move on here. Let's carry on and get on to the next element of this, which is that I want to let you know that anybody, you, your sister, your wife, your brother, your siblings, your children, can actually, when I say children, usually 13 years old and up, is a good opportunity to be able to build a successful online business. Anybody can do this. You don't need to have an idea about how you're going to sell software or find a product that you need to sell right off the bat. You don't need to do any of that. You can build a website, an online business, based upon things that are floating around in your mind right now, or something that you dream about at night or during the day, about a hobby, a passion, a body of knowledge that you may have. You don't need to have any technical skills to be able to accomplish this successful online business based upon these ideas. All you're doing is you're essentially converting your knowledge into business and money that will in turn be in your pocket once the site is developed the right way. So when we move on here and we go on to the elements of what helps or what allows businesses to be successful, whether they are online or offline, the ability to generate traffic is the hardest thing in any business, whether it be offline or online. Although there are some people and business owners out there who understand that if they build a restaurant or open a restaurant on one of the busiest streets in, let's say, New York City, for example, there's going to be some decent traffic that rolls by the front door. And if you're offering a food or a dessert that is going to match the audience's preference, you're going to be able to get that traffic and convert that traffic. The only thing with having a restaurant on a busy street in New York is that the rent or to purchase is extremely, extremely expensive. So I'm not talking about building an online business and having these kind of massive investments to be able to earn income. My Asphalt Kingdom site, which we were chatting about earlier, has cost me $299 per year to generate my $150,000 in profits that I will earn in 2006. So again, the lifeblood of any successful business is traffic, and that's what we're going to help you understand is how you can generate the traffic. Now, as people are out there looking for particular things, people tend to search for what we call information or content that allows them to fulfill their search with the best results. So some of the tools that are used nowadays on the internet are what we call search engines. Search engines essentially allow people to find what it is they're looking for. The search engine's responsibility, their model, is to fulfill the searcher's search with the best result. So an example would be a keyword or a search word that somebody may type in to find information that is within my website. So somebody would, let's say, is interested in starting their own seal coating business where they paint driveways black to protect the asphalt surface. Somebody will type in start seal coating business at Yahoo, MSN, Google, Alta Vista, different search engines out there to find the best result to fulfill their search. Obviously, we know that somebody typing in start seal coating business is looking at potentially starting a business. So they're looking for information that's going to help them understand how to start a business. They're looking for equipment that will allow them to start their own seal coating business. And they're looking for guidance and support that will allow them the opportunity to understand that they are not left in the fog, but instead guided through the process of developing and starting their own seal coating business. So when people type this into the search engines, they end up finding a result. The only way that they can find a result is through building quality content. Your content, or my content on AsphaltKingdom.com, that content was developed to please my visitors. Yes, it needed to be architecturally persuasive. It needed to essentially target the audience that was going to be arriving there, but at the same time, I needed to make sure that that content was optimized for the search engines so that those search engines saw me, my page, my information, as being the best result to fulfill someone's search. Now, that wasn't hard. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. I had that knowledge upstairs in my mind pertaining to the seal coating business because I ran my own successful seal coating business out on the road. A local market, a local business that marketed to the local homeowner. What I did was I offered basically my knowledge, my information, my experience that I had. I offered that information in words and writing. And the way I did that was I recorded my voice through a little recording feature that I have on my computer through Windows, recorded it, basically spoke into it about all kinds of things that I knew about starting a seal coating business, equipment, all kinds of different information. Once you speak in a microphone and it records, well, all you have to do is basically replay it and type out your words so that you're essentially developing good quality content that is based upon your experience and your ability to help people do what it is you're trying to help them do. By doing this, by providing them with first-hand experience, I develop a relationship with people. I have an adventure. I have the credibility to allow somebody to say, this guy can be not only my supplier or my teacher, but he can also be a friend that will guide me through it. So I make them feel as though I am a guru within my own niche through my content, through my information. It's my only opportunity. Words on the website are the only opportunity you have to develop your relationship. So what we do is, if I just basically summarize what I just said over the last few minutes, you need to have an idea or ideas or passions or body of knowledge. An idea could mean that you're interested in MP3 players. An idea could mean that you're interested in traveling with your family on summer fishing getaway vacations up in Alaska or in northern Canada. I don't know. But everybody has hobbies, passions, body of knowledges that they're able to brainstorm those different ideas to determine which one has the best traffic potential online. That's quite a long phrase. I'll repeat it one more time because it's very important. You don't have to be stuck or set on a particular topic. You can brainstorm and analyze all your different ideas to find out which one really has the best opportunity online. So what we do is we then take that idea, we brainstorm that idea and find all the profitable topics in regards to traffic relating to that idea. Take my Asphalt Kingdom website as another example here. I brainstormed asphalt maintenance and asphalt seal coating to find all kinds of relevant terms that related to asphalt maintenance and asphalt seal coating. Once I found all the topics, all the different ideas, concepts, keywords, and search terms that essentially gave me almost like a table of contents, I started to build my content, really high-value content pertaining to each one of those words. So what I do is I basically establish a table of contents before you write a book. Same concept with a website. You're developing your list of profitable topics, from now which you're going to develop your content related to. Once you have good quality content pertaining to profitable topics and high-value keywords, you now develop the content that matches those keywords, fulfilling the searcher's search with the best result. The pathway to success, in order to succeed online, and the only way to succeed online, is what we call the CTPM process. It's not difficult. It's very easy to understand. We need to develop in-demand content, remember, based upon those profitable topics that we found on the slide before. Well, once we've established the content that's in demand, that will start ranking and what we call indexing at the search engines. The search engines then say, wow, this is a credible result to fulfill the searcher's search. That then attracts targeted traffic to your website. At your website, you need to establish that relationship through your content and pre-sell. Do not hard sell, but provide them with valuable information that allows them to say, yes, you're a guru in what you're talking about, and you are the person I want to deal with. That is the way you pre-sell. You need to provide them with the opportunity to establish a relationship. You don't knock on somebody's door and try to sell them something in a box right in front of them. It's better to walk up to somebody and start talking to them about their car and their beautiful property and how you've been working in the area and so on and so forth. The reason why I know that is from the seal coating business. If I walked up to somebody's door and pushed something upon somebody, they would shut the door in my face. But if I gave them some information and credibility, allowed them to see that I was the guru in what it is that I do, that's pre-selling. And being able to convert from that point is much easier than if you hard sell someone. Monetizing, with the big M right there, monetizing pre-sold traffic means that once they're pre-sold, you're now making money either through affiliate marketing by referring traffic to another website where they buy another product and you get a commission, or in my case, have somebody drop ship equipment to my clients. All I am is the front-end entity that establishes the credibility, educates them, and allows them to find the product. So we call it building income through content, CTPM. Folks, write it down on a piece of paper because it is one of the most important steps. Content, traffic, pre-sell, then monetize. If you do it backwards, if you try monetizing, pre-selling traffic, and then content, it just doesn't work. So CTPM needs to be all in a row, one at a time. Build your way from the ground up following that CTPM approach. We now move on to the realities of the web. I'm going to read the slide out because this is one of the major factors that allowed me to determine that Site Build It was the right program to enable me to build a successful online business. Most people think that they do not have the time to build an online business. Average person does not know HTML, FTP, JavaScripting, PHP, all this special fancy coding. Folks, I don't know a thing about any of those codes and don't want to. That's not what I'm good at. I'm good at seal coding. I'm good at helping people learn how to seal code and start their own business. That's what I'm good at. Most have no idea how to drive targeted traffic. No, and how would they? Nobody would really have an idea how to drive targeted traffic unless they had a proven step-by-step program that enabled them to follow it to the T and allow them to follow the approach that Site Build It really teaches. CTPM, content, traffic, pre-sell, monetize. Again, write it down. The barriers seem huge to most folks. They say, hey, I can't do that. 100%, that is absolutely correct. If you feel that you can't do it, well, I'm going to tell you now that you absolutely can do it. You just need to understand that what works on the net. And what I've said earlier in this conversation is that if you have a passion, an idea, a body of knowledge, you can definitely be successful online. I'll give you an example of a website here, jugglenow.com, owned by Jim Nelson, who actually was a full-time professor at a university in Michigan. Now runs a website that generates over $140,000 a year in profits by simply providing juggling balls shipped to people's door. Yep, started off with his mother manufacturing or making in her living room custom juggling balls and allowed Jim Nelson to be able to sell his mother's made juggling balls to traffic that was coming to his website. So imagine having a hobby. I like to juggle. I go to juggling conventions. Hey, let me brainstorm this idea. Wow, there's good traffic potential pertaining to the juggling industry. Now let me follow the CTPM approach and follow the step-by-step plan so that I can make money from my hobby. So if you're selling hard goods or you've got affiliate links, you can make money off a simple hobby just like Jim Nelson's Juggle Now website. Another website that really is interesting is the coolestkidbirthdayparties.com, owned by Elad. This website, he's actually partners with his sister, so it's a family-run website. They got into it just as something that was going to be fun. They both had jobs at the time. And now it's taken over and is a full-time income for both of them, traveling the world with their laptop and working from hotels and villas and so on. And he's built a website basically teaching people how to throw a great, cool kid birthday party. So if you've got children and you want to throw a great birthday party, go to Google and type in coolest kid birthday party or coolest birthday gifts party or keywords that pertain to that, and Elad's site is top ranked for his keywords as well. The only way that Elad is making money on this coolestkidbirthdayparties.com is through what we call affiliate links. He creates the information at the front end, generates the interest, pre-sells them with his information, recommends or refers another company that has the products through links. So people land at his website, they click on a link that Elad recommends, they click through on that link, they might land at a website that deals with custom birthday balloons. Elad will earn a commission off of any traffic that he refers to that website that then buys that product. That's affiliate marketing. And Elad monetizes from affiliate links. In my particular case, with AsphaltKingdom.com, I source and dropship. I didn't even have a supplier when I started this website. I created information teaching people how to start their own seal coating company, just a wealth of information pertaining to maintaining driveways. Then I found out that, wow, there was some demand. There were people contacting me through forums, and they were essentially getting in touch with me asking about how they could start their own successful seal coating business. I then found my suppliers after that traffic came to me, and I marked the equipment up so that I made my own margin. So all I did was found a supplier that drop ships to my clients. Here's a student, Nori Evoy, who built out a website that is absolutely fantastic. Actually, it's about the island that I'm living on now, Anguilla-Beaches.com. She refers, people come from these search engines, they'll type in Anguilla Beaches or Anguilla Real Estate, and they'll land at her website. And guess what she's done? She's actually done deals with realtors who have homes and rental villas that enable her to recommend those realtors to her visitors at her website, and the realtors share their commissions with Nori. Yep, a 14-year-old girl, actually she just turned 15, is now earning, I think she's at $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and she spends approximately 4 to 5 hours a week on this website. So it's pretty amazing to see how, whether it's a 14-year-old girl who is a student or a 35, 50, 70-year-old person who has passions, experience, body of knowledge, you're still able to put that knowledge to work and allow you to earn that income. Anyone can succeed on the net, and I mean it, anybody, whether it's myself or my wife, we both are able to succeed online, whether it's Nori Evoy, a 14-year-old girl. Everyone knows something, and you may know home care for the elderly, rare coins. You might have valuable junk that you want to sell in your garage. Instead of having a garage sale, you might want to sell it via your website. You might have a home in Europe that you might want to rent out. Having a website that allows you to market that to the global market is just the best way and best opportunity to be able to sell what it is that is of interest to you. And so we take it on from there to the main product that is featured here is Site Build It. And Site Build It is the system that enabled me to do what it is that I do, enabled Richard to do what it is that he does, Jim Nelson, and thousands of other people who presently use Site Build It to market things of interest, passions, body of knowledges that they have. So from there, I'll lead it on to the details of SBI. The SBI Quick Tour, I'll give you just the three breakdowns, the three main important modules of Site Build It. You have the action guide, which is like a mentor, a guru in your ear, written by the founder of the company, Ken Evoy, Kenevoy, who essentially knows the Internet and the real ways, the basic fundamentals of the way the Internet is used. So it's nice to have that guru in your ear with a step-by-step plan. It's a 10-day course, so it's a step-by-step plan that allows you to do it at whatever speed you're comfortable at doing it. Not in 10 days, but you can break it down over as many days as you would like. The Brainstorm It and Monetize It, as you see there, allows you to brainstorm your ideas, find the search terms and keywords that people type in the search engines that have good demand, a lot of searches, and very minimal competition, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. The Site Build It and Traffic Center is allowing you to build your pages without knowing any HTML at all, no coding. You just simply fill in the blanks and building block style like Legos. The Traffic Center, it allows you to see your traffic stats, where your pages rank in the search engines, and those are the two main parts of Traffic Center. But there is the value exchange and so on, which we'll discuss on the next few slides. Brainstorm and Research. So basically what you're doing here is you're typing in a keyword. You can see at the bottom of this shot here it says step 3, enter seed word. So if we were typing in antique furniture and we clicked brainstorm it, this system, while you go have a coffee, is actually going to brainstorm antique furniture and find all kinds of relevant search terms to that topic. So you might get back aged wood, antique furniture, wood furniture, antique rocking chair. You'll get all kinds of keywords, as you'll see right here. You can see here that you get all kinds of keywords on the left-hand column there. We get keywords that relate to antique furniture. In this case, it's not particularly antique furniture. This is about Anguilla, but I think the point is there. You do get keywords that pertain to the keyword that you typed in, and usually you get about 80 to 100 of those keywords. And if you look to the right of the keywords, it has the demand and the supply columns there. You've got demand, supply, profitability, and ideas. So the demand simply means this, in short. The number of times that word was typed into the search engines that month, within a month. So you can see here that you now know the actual market out there typing in those search terms. But very more importantly, actually, because to find the demand, there's other tools out there to help you find that. But to now find the supply, the actual number of websites that are optimized for that keyword. I think you're getting the point here. If you have a demand that is high and a supply that is lower than the demand, then you've now got the demand-supply ratio. Demand is higher than supply, therefore it's a good search term to develop content relevant to. So Site Builder will teach you how to break down this keyword list here that you're looking at and find the keywords that truly have good traffic potential that you then develop your content from. So it's very, very step-by-step. You then go to the next phase here, ready, aim, fire. We call it ready, aim, fire simply because the majority of other people starting on the internet without a solution like Site Builder, the first thing that anybody's told is go register a domain name. Well, why would you go register a domain name if you don't even know if your idea has good traffic potential? That just doesn't make sense. So our goal here is to brainstorm our keywords and our ideas to find out which idea had the best traffic potential. Now we register a domain name that really relates to our idea. Again, Site Builder will help you find a domain name that will really work pertaining to the idea that you move forward with online. So ready, aim, fire, not aim, ready, fire. It just doesn't work. Or fire, ready, aim. It just won't work. One step at a time, as we say with Site Builder. Which brings us on to the look and feel area of Site Builder, meaning these are just two examples. There's many, many different templates that you can choose from with Site Builder that can be manipulated in over 3,000 different styles in total. If you change the font, nav bar, buttons, etc., so over 3,000 total different styles. So with the look and feel, you can usually get the look and feel that you're looking for to match the idea that you're going to be building a website on. If you wanted your own look and feel, you could also upload your own templates or your own HTML pages to Site Builder. If you wanted your own custom look, that's just a sidebar for you. Creating pages with Site Builder is very block by block style. You can see here that there's a headline on the right-hand side on the top block, and then you now have typed in your headline. You can align it center, change the size. You can then insert a text block where you type in your paragraph. Then if you wanted to add a graphic, you could just add a graphic on the drop-down menu. It says, what do you want to insert next? Well, you can click graphic or text link or email link or form or anything that you really want. So it's very building block oriented. You've got down at the bottom with the red circle there, preview it and analyze it. These are two amazing features of Site Builder. Preview it allows you to see the actual page that you're in the middle of constructing. And if we move on to the next slide here, we'll see that Analyze it allows you to know whether or not the page you are creating is what the search engine is looking for. So imagine having something that comes back to you and says, the file name, the URL part of this page, the keyword is not included in this. Please include it once, but not more than twice, exactly as you entered it in the keywords at the top of this page. Your page title, it will tell you if you're missing your keywords for this page. Because remember, folks, every page is optimized for its own set of keywords. My Start Asphalt Seal Coating page deals specifically with the starting of a seal coating business. It's not marketing to selling crack filler. It's marketing to that specific audience. So each page needs to be optimized for its own set of keywords. Site Builder with the analysis tool, the Analyze It feature, allows you to essentially build the best result to fulfill the searcher's search pertaining to those keywords. Then we get on to build it right here with the red circle. Once you're ready to actually put the page up live, you just click the Build It button, and now it's already uploaded to the server. So there's no FTPing or uploading pages in a fancy way with HTML files. All you do is click a button and your page is live on the internet. And you can go to your website and actually see the page you just constructed. You can show friends and family. And then, as time progresses, as the website becomes the best result to fulfill searcher's search, well, people will be landing at that page through the search engines, and those are your customers that will be buying what it is that you sell or refer. Then we have the automatic search engine page submission. This is another amazing feature because it allows you to know where each page ranks in the different major engines We've got Google here on the right. GG is Google, Yahoo, and then we've got MSN, and we've got Ask Jeeves. This is the location where you track where each page is ranked in the search engines. So if you have a page that's ranked, on the 30th rank down at Google for one of your pages, you know that might need some work. Therefore, spend some more time developing more content pertaining to that page on that page and so on. So it allows you to know what to work on, which is wonderful. You also have the Traffic Center. Traffic Center is within what we call Site Central, which is the main frame, the main toolbox from which you work from. The Traffic Center, you've got Value Exchange. Value Exchange is an absolutely wonderful tool, and it's all about link exchanging. What you're doing is you're finding a very real way of communicating with other website owners that have a similar theme to what it is you have, and it enables you to exchange links with that website and drive traffic back and forth. So you kind of you're benefiting each other with that traffic flow, because they might be getting a potential customer of yours that you may be missing, but if they're referring it to you, you've now got the opportunity to convert them. You've got the search engine headquarters directories, offers you all the information and resources you need to leverage your traffic generation efforts. You've got your paid search engine headquarters, which allows you to check where your paid advertisements are ranked in all the different engines that you're advertising with. I don't want to talk a lot about the pay-per-click advertising, Richard, because simply I'm finding that I don't do any pay-per-click advertising, zero, and I'm obtaining amazing sales. So I try to tend to say, if you need to do pay-per-click advertising, paying for placement in the search engines for your keywords, try to do that really at the beginning if you've got a budget to work with, but don't stress about it. Don't feel as though you need to do the pay-per-clicks. I didn't do it all the way through, and I'm very, very successful with what I do. So you've got the directory headquarters, which allows you to look at the different directories and where you're ranking in the directories. You've got the traffic stats, which allow you to see a detailed breakdown of your traffic, how many visitors daily, what countries your site's being visited from, what page is most trafficked, what is the most trafficked entry page, what is the most trafficked exit page. So basically a complete summary of your traffic that is visiting your website. You've also got the tips and techniques headquarters, where you're given all sorts of cool tips and recommendations for your website, some of which come from actual site build it owners. I do have a few tips in there as well, coming from me. You've also got the resource headquarter, which exhibits all sorts of compatible best-of-breed third-party resources that can benefit you on your site's progression, adding audio to your website. These are upgrades later on in the future. Once your site is succeeding, then you can go ahead and start adding other features, which moves us on to leadership tools, which I'm going to definitely pass on to Richard. But again, I just wanted to stress the whole importance of doing what it is that you really want to do in life and allow you to earn through ideas, passions, body of knowledge that you may have, as Richard has done with his Leadership-Tools.com. And the way he's successful is following, as you can see in Google here. A keyword is typed in by a particular audience. And you know what, Richard, I'm going to pass this off to you because you're going to be able to explain this a heck of a lot better than I will, being that it's your website. So I'm going to pass this off to you, and I'll be here to answer any questions that may arise.
Okay, Judd, thanks so much. You did a great job walking us through that. And I'm going to reiterate a couple things that Judd has already taken us through, but I think it helps all of you to see just one more example of just how this works. And as you can see on the slide here, again, if you're one of my readers and you're out there looking for leadership tool information or information on leadership-related topics, you're typically going to go to one of the major search engines, Google, MSN, Yahoo, Ask Jeeves, any of those major search engines, and you're going to type in this case, leadership tools. You're going to click then probably on that button, Google search, and that's going to take you, I did this today, and it actually in Google, you can see here that, we don't look too shabby. As you can see, the first results look pretty good for our site. In fact, the first two entries that Google lists are, as you can see, my home page, and then right underneath that is a page that I have put together offering my newsletter. And folks, if you have heard nothing else, this right here, this is the true power of SBI. You can see also, look in the top right-hand corner there where there's a little circle that says results 1 through 10. What you don't see there, because it's cut off on the screen print when we put together this slide, is it says right after that, out of 202 million entries. I mean, we're number 1 and 2. My site is number 1 and 2 out of 202 million entries that came up when readers go into Google and search leadership tools. I couldn't have done that, in my opinion, knowing what I know and not having SBI. I just don't see how I could have done that. So that's key, and that's obviously why I'm so passionate about using SBI. Now, obviously, the person who entered the search in Google, they're most likely to click on any of the entries, say, in the top 10 or on that first page of Google listings. So, obviously my site is positioned perfectly for anyone interested in leadership tools. I guess I would make this point, Judd. Not only am I receiving free traffic, because again, I don't pay for these listings. I provide good content in order to earn these listings from the search engines. But not only am I receiving free traffic, I'm also receiving free, and this is a key word too, targeted traffic, which is any business owner's dream come true, to know that everybody who's walking in your door, or in our case, clicking on our sites, they're there looking for you. They may be browsing, but they're browsing on the topic that you offer and that you are passionate about. So, it's, again, a business owner's dream come true. It's going to lead us on to the next slide here. As we've mentioned throughout our discussion, SBI is unique because, it provides all the information, all the mentoring, and really, Jed, we didn't talk much about one of the key resources, and that is the SBI community. We have forums where you can just go in there and talk with other SBIers, as we call ourselves, and get so much support and information that it just blows my mind. But, on top of all that support, all the tools, the modules that you've explained, unlimited hosting, even a domain name, it's all in one place. And virtually everything is included for a pretty low price, which I'm going to get to here shortly. The key part of this is SBI allows me to focus on what I know best, and that's, providing good quality information on leadership-related topics. That's what I get to spend my time on, and that's key for me because, as Jed said, I don't want to be worrying about having to, figure out JavaScript code and HTML and all those other things. I get to stay focused on building my business, knowing full well that SBI, Site Build It, is taking care of all of the logistics, behind the scenes, which definitely helps me sleep at night, knowing that I don't have to do that. I guess I would make one more point, Jed, and that is that, as you know, so many companies doing business on the web today, they build an entire business offering just one of the many tools or modules that's included as part of the SBI product. And many of these web support businesses sell their one product for more than what SiteCell charges for all the tools bundled together as part of the SBI product. And I'll just give you a kind of a rundown here. And sure, these are estimates, but they're conservative estimates. Okay, let's say you want to somehow replicate SBI for yourself, which of course, Judd, you and I know you virtually could not do because SBI's tools, they're all integrated into a pretty seamless process. But just for the sake of argument, let's pretend and try to cobble together the tools necessary to build a quality website. And at a minimum, these are the features that you're going to need. And I'll just read a few of them. You talked about the researching tool. That alone might cost over $200 with another carrier. You're going to need a graphic designer if you're like Jed and I who didn't really, want to know anything about graphic design or HTML code or JavaScript or all this. You need to have experts that are doing that for you, and they're quite costly to hire out. The hosting, the domain name, getting all the reports that, let you know how you're doing in the search engines and rankings, being able to just submit all of your pages to the search engines and knowing that they're optimized properly. All those things are offered online today as we speak independently. And again, these are conservative prices. So anyway, the list just kind of goes on. And I'll give you one more slide here. It just kind of details a couple more. But as you can see, well, and one key point, Jed, the last one there, the guide, the guru in your ear, so to speak. We didn't put a number on that because truly, as you and I both know, the support we get not only from the forums, but the action guide and all those things, it truly is priceless, particularly for someone like myself who really didn't know how to build a website on my own. And guys, at a bare minimum, the cost for a reasonably productive website, as you can see, it could cost well over $5,000 or more. So that leads us obviously to the next question, and how much does SBI cost? And The entire Site Build It product, complete with everything that we've talked about, it's only $299 per year. And Judd, I think you mentioned that earlier. That's your total fixed cost, really, for many of the websites that we see out there. And that's true for myself as well. And guys, believe me, that ends up being a drop in the bucket compared to the benefits that it provides you. And I'll get in some of my own results here in just a second. But folks, if creating an online home-based business is something that you're interested in, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom or dad and you want to supplement your existing household income. Maybe you're retired and you're looking for not just a hobby, but something where you can really help support your retirement on. Or maybe you're a student and you want to start saving for college or working it while you're in college and help your parents pay for some of your expenditures throughout your college experience. Or you're an entrepreneur. I mean, this really is for anybody who has a strong desire to succeed. And in a nutshell, SBI is a product that does what it says it will do. This is what I've found. So long as I'm following the step-by-step process that Ken and his team kind of spell out for you with the SBI product, you can't go wrong. And, I'm also just amazed, Judd. I've been here, a little over, almost 4 years now with SBI. And the SBI team keeps adding different modules, adding different functionalities for the benefit of its users. I'm paying the same fee, $299, now, today, that I paid almost 4 years ago. They just do not increase the price. And I just think that's awesome. It says a lot about what they're trying to accomplish, and obviously we all benefit from their generosity in that way. So, as you can see from this particular slide, I also added some personal information here. SBI pays for itself over and over again. For instance, if I look at just one of the sources of revenue on my site, in this case, my Google advertising revenue, these are the little ads I place out there, you can see that I've realized profits in the past 6 months alone of over $11,000. And just to give you some perspective here, that equates to a 6-month, not an annual, but a 6-month return on investment, ROI, of over 3,500%. I mean, where do you hear about that? I mean, Wall Street, you never hear those kinds of numbers with the big boys. I mean, this is just absolutely outstanding. Again, I'm paying out $299 a year. Folks, I make that alone in probably the first 3 or 4 days of the year on just this one source of revenue. And I have other sources of revenue, as Jed was explaining. I have affiliate links, and then I'm also getting ready to put out some of my own hard good products that I'm developing. So anyway, it really is endless just what you can do with your site as you begin learning and planning how to do this. So, again, in 3 days, I pay for it. Now, I didn't in the very beginning. It took the time. It took building content. It took working, with the search engines, to index my sites and just improving over time the quality of my site. But the rest of the year now, that money just goes right in my pocket. And, Judd, one thing I would say is, while I never go so far as to call it free money, because, again, I put in the work and the effort and all those kinds of things, I do have to say that it's about the closest thing to free money that I've ever experienced at this point. So anyway, let's talk about the guarantee, because that's important. Aside from the fact that SBI will help you build an exceedingly profitable website, and the cost, as we've said here, is pretty ridiculously low, there really is no risk whatsoever if you want to get started and want to try this thing out. SBI comes with a 30-day unconditional 100% money-back guarantee, and I'm just reading it right off the slide there. And, SiteSell, I can tell you this, SiteSell wants more than satisfied customers, and they say it on their website. They're looking for raving fans. And if you've been listening to us for, almost close to an hour here, you can tell that, both Judd and myself, I think we both consider ourselves to definitely be, two of those raving fans, so to speak. This is my favorite slide in the whole deck here. I'm just going to read the quote at the top. It says, "The biggest mistake people make in life is not making a living at doing what they most enjoy." That's a famous quote by Malcolm Forbes. And how key is that? I mean, the older we get, it seems like time just keeps going faster and faster, and before we know it, we can't believe how much time has went by. But, each of these pictures on this poster board here, I mean, these are real people. I mean, you see Judd there kind of toward the middle off to the left-hand side. I'm down there with my wife at the bottom right-hand side of it. All of us are real people with real stories, and pretty ordinary, everyday folks that are realizing pretty extraordinary results. And the one thing we have in common, I can say, is that we all utilize Site Build It and the SBI product. So that's pretty cool. So hopefully, guys, by now you realize that what Judd and I are doing here today is really just trying to inform you, give you a chance to make a living at what you enjoy most. so that you can create new streams of recurring income. If you're not happy in your job, this gives you a means to work your way out of it. I'm not saying you would quit your job tomorrow. That would be foolish. This is a real business. It takes real time to develop, but you can do it, and that's the message. Nobody should feel stuck for any reason. It's very doable. And there are literally thousands of people just like all of us, who are using this product and have used it to change and improve their lives. Not just financially, but personally, in terms of just living a more fulfilled life. You heard Judd talk about, having 3 different homes, and gosh, it's hard for me to keep up with him. In one call, he's in Montreal. Today's in Florida, and I know he's heading out to Anguilla at his home out there shortly. So at any rate, I've talked long enough. Okay, Judd, I know we have some folks who sent me some questions, in advance, and I want to make sure we answer those if you don't mind. So I'll kind of pose some of these questions to you, and together we can take care of these things. So let's see. The first question that we received goes like this. It just says, I know when I'm surfing the net, I'm always seeing those ads about how you can get a domain name or create a website for just a few dollars. So how can they do this for so little when SBI requires an annual fee of $299?
Great question, by the way. Let me use an analogy. You could go get a P.O. box at a post office for minimal, but to buy a house on a busy street is priceless. You can get a mailbox for $9.99, which is the same cost as a domain name, $9.99, or $15, up to $15. That's a domain name, folks. That's an address. That has nothing to do with actually the whole website. There's no other elements that are going to allow you to succeed. It's a name that you reserve. That's all it is, $9.99. That's a domain name.
Okay, next question is, so I'm interested in doing a website about X. How do I determine whether X is a subject that will appeal to the masses? Because obviously I don't want to invest a lot of time up front and then later find out that my site theme will not draw enough traffic to become successful. So in other words, how do they guarantee their success?
Yeah, that's another great question, and the answer is pretty simple, and I'll actually, if we can go to slide number 23, that would be great, because that would give everybody a good opportunity to understand. As I was talking about earlier in our conversation, SiteBuild has a brainstorm tool that allows you to brainstorm and analyze different ideas that you have to determine which one has the best traffic potential. It also pulls all kinds of relevant keywords pertaining to each idea to know if there is a market out there, to see if there's demand, if there's people typing in these search terms related to your idea. It also provides you with the supply number, the actual number of websites that you'll be in competition with. So the goal here is to choose words that have high demand, low supply. That allows you to reach the masses, allows you to determine whether or not your idea has good traffic potential. I think that makes sense, Richard.
Yeah, great answer, Jed. And here's a great question. How long does it take until you actually start earning money?
Well, that is a really, really good question. The answer is as follows. Every site concept, every idea, every theme, every website has a different time window that allows somebody to earn money. Now, here's the thing. Search engines, to get organically ranked in the search engines, when I say organically, naturally, not having to pay-per-click or pay advertisement, but if you paid the $2.99 with Site Builder, your keywords will start ranking well in the search engines within a 3 to 4 month window. That's the indexing process. That allows the search engines enough time to see whether or not you are a credible source to fulfill someone's search. So, again, the search engines don't go by like get rich quick or posting up a website #1 rank right away. They want to see that you're credible and that you're not just building a website to get rich quick. They want to see that you're a website looking to really fulfill someone's search with the best result. So 3 to 4 months to get indexed or ranked in the engines. Money, in my first year I did not earn a penny within the first 4 months, not a penny. But once I got indexed, I started seeing $200, $300 a month. At the end of that 1 year, 12-month working window, I was earning $2,000 to $3,000 a month from that point on. Yesterday, I processed an order, a seal coating system on my Asphalt Kingdom website on my homepage. I processed that for $2,850. My profit margin on that is $1,000, and I sold 3 pallets of sealer. It was a total of $5,900 order. My cost was $3,000. I made $2,900 yesterday morning. Then yesterday afternoon, I processed 2 more equipment orders where I made $1,000 each. Yesterday, I made $4,200 in 1 day.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And, one of the things I would add in terms of answering that question is In that first year, as Judd said, you might not realize a lot of returns, particularly in that first 3-4 month period, and then you'll start earning. But in that first year, I think we all kind of went through it. Well, geez, this is taking a little bit more time than I thought. But now I look back, and it's those same first 50 pages of great content that I created that are bringing me the bulk of my traffic. So although I might have created it 1, 2, 3 years ago, it's earning me more and more money as time goes by, that each page. And that's why we focus on quality, because, you build it once right, and it pays dividends for you for years afterwards. And I think that's a key point. Hey, Judd, moving on here, the next question says, what kind of support can I expect? Since I don't know anything about building a website, is there an actual person I can talk to?
And that's another great question. And as you said earlier, we don't look at Site Build It as being the company that is the provider for us, but we think of Site Build It as a community that has wonderful tools with an all-inclusive system and support that provides us within a community kind of an setting, if you will, a community setting. There are forums where you can interact and engage with thousands of other Site Build It users. You can also interact with moderators in those forums who are successful Site Build It users, and as well, the support group is also in those forums. You have 24/7 unlimited email support as well. And the action guide, written by Kenny Boy, as we talked about earlier, is like a guru in your ears. So as long as you follow the action guide, use the forums, interact and engage productively at the forums, work together rather than against each other, you will succeed with the support that SBI provides. I mean, that's all included too in the $2.99 annual fee. That's peanuts. Microsoft charges $50 a call.
Yeah, and I can certainly, say that that's been exactly my experience. I've never lacked for support. And, there's definitely people you can talk to. And, that actually is a good segue into the last question I have here. It says, what do I do if I want to talk more one-on-one, meaning after this presentation? Is there someone I can talk to directly?
Well, I mean, with the experience, I can certainly offer this. I would be more than happy to, and I'm sure you would be too, Richard, but I'd be more than happy to either do a conference call with Richard and whoever's a part of this call who would like to chat more about their particular interests to see if there is the ability to get things moving forward. What you give is what you get in life. So I tend to try to give back what I've been given. And so if I can spend the time with anybody a part of this call or listening to this recording, if I can give my time to you and help you succeed online, that would put a major smile on my face. And I mean, I'm here to help. So Richard can certainly pass on my email address or our toll-free number, which is 888-987-3669. And just mention that, you're coming from Leadership Tools, and we'll certainly give you that VIP service, being that you're a part of this. Mind you, Site Build It's VIP service for everybody. But I mean, if you're wanting the one-on-one direct contact, I'm happy to help.
Right, Jed, and obviously I'm happy to take inquiries as well. In fact, on my website, there is a Contact Us form, and if you just fill in a question there, I'd be happy to get back to you via email, or if you want to talk one-on-one, we can arrange for that. I don't consider myself the grand expert on this subject, but I'll certainly be happy to share with you what I know, and if I can't answer a question, I'll maybe forward you on to somebody else to get your question answered. So, hey, Jed, this has just been a great hour. I appreciate your willingness to participate. Thanks so much for sharing your insights with my readers today. I very much appreciate it. And with that also, folks, thanks to each one of you, who've invested some time today to learn a little bit more about SBI and learn a little bit more about what I do and how I do it. If you want to pursue this further, as Jed said, or I think we mentioned earlier, there will be an order link provided at the free Tele-Seminar page, and that'll be right on my homepage there. The exact address is www.leadership-tools.com/free-teleseminar.html. You can find that pretty simply. And, as a leadership enthusiast, I say it often on my website, leaders find a way, or they make one. And hopefully today, you realize now that you've found a way to further pursue your true passion. Even if you're just doing it part-time for now, at least now you can start pursuing that one thing that truly excites you. And you've also found a tool, by the way, SBI, Site Build It, that will help you make your life more fulfilling and it's certainly, in my case, more profitable, and I know that can happen for you as well. So best of luck to all of you. I certainly look forward to hearing your thoughts. If you'd kindly complete the short feedback form provided at the free Tele-Seminar page. I'd appreciate that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with that, okay, everyone, that's a wrap. Best of luck to all of you in your leadership journey.